murky at certain levels. But Ben wanted to talk.
Look, the point is you'll have both internets. I'm just saying if I want to be on an internet where somebody can't lie, they can't fudge the index. It's like a library card catalog. You can't stick a bubblegum ad in there. You can't fucking paste this on there, and you can't make your card flash, and you can't make your card pop out of the fucking card catalog and go, look at me, I'm blinking, I'm blinking. You can't play all these fucking games. You play by a standardized set of rules. Everybody plays by the same fucking rules. No cheating, no bullshit. What the fuck is wrong with that? That's the place I'm going to go. That's the place I'll invest in. Even if it gets a little boring and stale, I'd be happy with it because at least it's accountable.
Yeah, it's called the Moser Family History.
It's functional.
I'd be happy
it
with
fucking works.
Spam exists for the same reason. Spam exists for the same reason that people can lie, for the same reason that people can do all of the very, very objectionable and rightly objectionable things that people do on the internet. Security is a bitch. Security is a bitch to code. Filters are a bitch to code. Meta tag prorating is a bitch to code. I mean, these things do not exist because specific allowances were made for them.
Gary, your microphone's not working.
I saw the whole meta tag thing turn to shit. Okay, I was there when the internet started. People could write their own meta tags. They were responsible for describing their website content. All right, and they did it right in their web page. And what did they start doing? Everybody just started lying. They started putting sex, porn, pussy, vagina. They put all the sex terms in there. No matter they could be selling cardboard boxes, and yeah, they put all the fucking keywords in. And it was just allowed. And my argument is this simple one: if you have a standardized set of words, keywords, 500 of them or whatever, let people choose from that standardized set. And if they lie, you have editors that get paid a commission, all right, for catching the liars. So you can have a completely self-financing regulatory regime, all right? So nobody has to get their hands dirty, and it's all, you can't deny it. I mean, it's there, okay? You can find out if somebody lies, and they pay a specific penalty for it. If you're out of the, like I said, you're not going to stay in the public library if you keep walking into the library and taking your book and pulling it out of its category and shoving it in some other category. You should be caught for that. You should be. Eventually they should say, "Well, fuck you. Get you and your fucking book out of our fucking library, you cheater."
One, there is no public search engine. Doesn't exist. There ain't one. There is not one search engine. There is not one search engine that is not private property.
Why I keep talking about public libraries.
Two, Google
should be one.
Already does that. Google already does that. The Google search heuristic aggressively prorates according to the number of meta tags that your site has. The more meta tags you have, the less your meta tags count.
Right, and nobody look.
So
Google doesn't even count meta tags anymore anyway. Okay, meta tags are completely fucking irrelevant. I bet you the Google algorithm ignores them entirely. They probably have a 1%, 2% rating. No rational search engine would bother with meta tags. They are 99.99% lies. Let's go do an experiment. Let's go to 5 random websites, okay, and see how honest the meta tags are on those pages. I bet you the General Motors page has the word Ford, Daimler Chrysler. I bet it has every other competitive automaker in the meta tags, okay, way out proportional to its own name in the meta tags. I bet you that's the fucking reality.
The Google algorithm utilizes multiple metrics, and meta tags is, in fact, one of them.
And actually, it looks like Ford. We can just using that example. No, Ford does not. Ford doesn't actually have any meta tags on their page at all. They've just sponsored. They've just paid for top listing on searches using the word Ford.
Well, that just verifies my point. Like I said, they're quite irrelevant. They would have them on the page if they meant anything. They obviously don't mean anything. That's why they're not on the page. But anyway, I mean, this whole SEO thing. I know some of this shit. Okay, these are the people that were fucking trying to sabotage my life, so I know how they operate and how they function. And they don't do anything if it's not for a profit, and that's why they've given up on this bullshit. The meta tags, anyway. I mean, now the game is playing the link game. To make yourself appear more popular than you are by creating a bunch of fake links all over the fucking internet. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. The point is we don't have to have it this way. We can have, it can be organized so, the whole idea is to get the consumers to the producers in as straight a line as possible. That was the ideal of the internet. Straight lines. And there's no straight lines in Google. It's all about creating as many middlemen and as many potential profiteers as fucking possible. I mean, wouldn't you like a world where you actually could buy from Dell at the best price possible? That you didn't have to sit there and pay for advertising? That you could just choose to buy a product because, yes, I've had it before. I don't need a commercial. I don't need to pay for commercials. I just want the best price possible. I don't want to advertise your product.
Yeah, but you're missing a lot of levels of what goes on. How do you know you want to delve in, Gary? What put that idea in your mind?
I just said because they're the biggest producer, or for some other reason. You could have you could be purchasing a car, right? And so you could look at the straight, how many horse are the seats, the criteria, and you could pick the car you wanted. And I'm just saying it'd be really great if you could just go right to the producer after you pick the one you wanted and just buy the fucking thing without having to go through a bunch of middlemen and shysters to go find the best deal because they've made a deal with some guy who's advertising the product and he's selling it and he's got the best deal. I mean, it's just idiotic when you think about it that you can't buy a computer from Dell. Right. Better off buying it from Best Buy than from fucking Dell.
Well, what I would say is this. I want to hear their pitch. They've got a right to pitch their products. I want to hear it. I'll compare their pitches. I'll look at the stats as well.
Right.
You demonize advertising.
For the 20 or 30% markup that you're going to pay for all that engineered, let's see what color we should paint it and which kind of style, and okay, what kind of person should we get to sell it, and how much should we pay Michael Jordan to say, I like them Dell computers.
Yeah, we do pay a certain portion of what we pay. It goes to compensate the advertising and the pitchmen and all that stuff, but I still think we're probably better off with it than without it.
Oh man, then you're a retard. You really are. You gotta be out of your fucking mind to think that any just somebody with an IQ above 70 does not need fucking goddamn 30 and 15-second commercials to understand what the hell they want to buy in the world. I mean, you're gonna sit there and justify the preposterous amounts of money that are spent on shows like American Idol or the Super Bowl. How much the Super Bowl cost us as consumers? And you think you got a good fucking,
well, I
you
guess
got a good fucking
my
lizard
IQ
and
must
selling
be
you
just
fucking
below
auto
70,
fucking
kind of like
insurance, you're
Ed.
buying your fucking insurance from a fucking lizard, you're buying your fucking beer from a fucking frog. God damn it.
This doesn't make any sense to me, Gary. At one moment you're speaking about establishing an internet traffic on the internet, and in the next breath you're talking about a problem with consumerism. Would creating an internet authority. If your traffic was all monitored, it could very easily be sold or traded. I mean, consumerism and advertisement would be a much fucking larger problem.
No, I don't see how that is even relevant to the equation, because you wouldn't be, none of it would be secret anymore. All right, why would any of that information be secret on the public library style internet? All right, remember, these are parallel internets. You still have the scumbag lying cheating net. All right, so you can still play that fucking game. All right, the point is you'd have another internet where you could go on there, and as a consumer, you could buy in bulk with 100,000 other consumers from Dell itself and get a good price on a product. There could be lots of innovation that would take place in that more honest environment that can't take place now, that won't take place now, because of how everybody has to engineer towards that mass media thing. It's just like cable channels. They're never going to be able to keep their identity, because they're always going to be seduced by the common denominator, big audience. They're always going to try to start selling chocolate bars and UFOs and then this, that, and the other thing, and they're always going to lose their identity. And that trap would end on a fucking public library style internet that had integrity, that was open source and accountable.
Cable is a great example of this. Think about Nielsen boxes, or logistical targeted advertising based on location. This all exists on cable, and cable, in order to purchase cable, you have to provide a great deal of information about yourself. Your location, your full name, your credit card, oftentimes your social security number. You're creating a problem from a solution.
Right, and how do you get a cable channel, right? How did you get cable channels? That's right, you had to make a deal with the fucking provider, right? Even though they weren't really doing anything, they were just making your station accessible. You had to make a deal, so then the networks made a fucking goddamn deal. So all of a sudden the networks had 6 or 7 cable channels on your system. So when they said you had 60 channels or 100 channels, you really didn't have that, because 6 of them were controlled by NBC, and 7 of them were controlled by ABC, and another 8 or 9 were controlled by CBS. I mean, you weren't getting access to any kind of, anything available. You were getting access to what would pay the cable company. And again, you were forced into this fucking you gotta subsidize it all. You gotta buy the fucking package. How did ESPN, do you think ESPN would have been what it turned out to be if it wasn't subsidized, because you didn't have any choice? You didn't have any ability to say, no, don't waste my money on ESPN. Don't give ESPN any of my fucking money. You didn't have that ability. They got a free fucking ride. I'm just making the argument to you. It's like everything else. I make arguments about blowing up the education system, and I'd say, let's just do it. Let's build the public college. Let's build the public high school. Let's build them, put them on the internet, and I'll prove my case. And I'm saying I could prove my case. Give me this internet, and I'll bet you providers will want to be on it. okay? Because they're going to be able to sell their product that way. People are going to respect it and want it. They're going to want the cheapest price, no rebates, no bullshit, no shysters, no commercial